So I'm from Zionsville, Indiana. I just grew up with kind of a small farm. We had cows at some points, and we had goats at some points, and a hay field, but also we were just normal people living on the outskirts of a suburb, basically. I was kind of all over the place. I did a million things even when I was really little, and I think eventually it was dancing and singing. I think those were kind of my two biggest things. I took dance classes last semester, and that was really, really fun. I took a jazz class and I took a modern class, and I learned a lot, and I met new people, and I got to do something that was technically academic but not really, and I just had a lot of fun with that. My mom really inspires me because she works really, really hard for our family. She has just done everything that she can to make sure that each of us has had as many opportunities as possible, and because of her, I've been able to travel the world, and I've been able to experience all these new things that I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. My mom came to IU, and both my older sisters came to IU. They all encouraged me to come here without forcing me, and I think that was really amazing.
Oh, there we found her. She looks so lovely. With her blanket scarf.
Hello.
We're asking them blanket scarf.
I'm not. I just thought it was funny when you took off your scarf like a babushka when you were coming in.
It's March something.
The 20th.
It's the first day of spring.
I almost said it's 4:20, but it's not. It's 3:20.
And having two older sisters in college definitely helped me to figure out what sorts of things I wanted out of a college. And especially as I've gotten here, I can text them, or I can have them meet me and take me to dinner, or I can just hang out at their houses, which is really, really nice to just be able to see them and have a little bit of home with me here.
Kendall, where should we go?
Wherever there's free seats.
Apparently we're going here. See? Good life choice.
What?
Root beer float.
Why are you eating spinach with your fingers?
The rest of the components of a salad are totally useless.
It's not true. Beans are full of protein.
I don't like cold beans.
Carrots are full of carotene.
I'm allergic to carrots.
Cheese is full of
You can
cheesatine.
still use a fork.
I have a US map that has a dot every place where I've been, and it has hearts over my hometown, and it has a heart over Bloomington because those are my homes, and I will always have a home here. Yeah, so what we're doing right now is Get Lost with Grace. That's where Grace drives around and we get lost. So we generally pick a very general cardinal direction that we want to go, leaving Bloomington, and then just drive wherever the road takes us that looks interesting. And we generally see lots of neat scenery and cows, and oftentimes really cool buildings and houses. And like we discovered these little tiny towns that are around Bloomington that are just like micro towns. A stoplight, haven't seen one of those in a bit. Wow. So we just drive and we get lost with Grace, and then when it's time to return, we find our way home.
With navigation sometimes.
With navigation when necessary.
Because we're lost.
Yeah. There have been a couple times when you haven't navigated back, and I've just been really impressed, and you're just like, and we go this way now. And I'm like, how do you know this? It changes a little bit from year to year where I live, and it changes what I do and who I'm with. But IU and Bloomington and just the culture here will always be a part of my home.
Who else in the Commonwealth?
Guys, we should probably leave.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to dip. Are you surprised?
I'm going to see the musical cabaret.
Oh, you have the tickets? Yes, I have the tickets. Do you have your student ID?
Oh, yeah, there's good. Jules.
Bye, Kendall.
Jules,
She's overfeeding the fish. Stop feeding the fish.
No, tell them that he's picky. He doesn't eat
about it. This is all in her head.
There's a mountain of food.
Okay, fine.
This is bad.
Okay, fine. Also, okay, should we just feed him in the morning?
Maybe.
Okay, let's just feed him in the morning.
Honestly, he like yells at me. He yelled at me earlier. He said
See?
those little like thin things all the time.
So, in September, I went home for the weekend and my little sister had won a carnival fish. And she was like, Kendall, you'll love this fish more than I could ever love it. Take it with you. And so I took this goldfish who we named Jermaine, and he died after like a day because of the terrible carnival conditions. However, we tried so hard to save him. We called it a fish mission.
Yes. I
And
remember that.
the fission was successful in the fact that we made it to the store at like 7:57, I think, and it closed at 8. But then the
They were actually
fission,
really helpful. They
Yeah.
definitely talked to us and tried to help us understand, but they
Yeah.
also kind of told us that he would probably not survive.
and they were correct. And so then a few days later, I went to the store with my sisters to get Merjane and Matza.
So I'm Juliana. I am a sophomore, about to be a junior, I guess, and I'm double majoring in English and Spanish with a minor in environmental sustainability.
I knew that I needed to find someone to live with for this year, and somehow I learned that she needed someone to live with, and
I think we met in the lounge.
yeah, in the
downstairs.
formal lounge.
I think we'd met before, and then we were just happening to both sit in the lounge at the same time, and she kind of just asked me, she was like, hey, so I really need a roommate for next year if you want to do that.
And we
I was
didn't-
like, yeah, sure, I need one.
And then I think it was that night that we hung out and we went to see
Yeah.
like The Conjuring, I think, at the
Oh, shit, I
IU.
forgot about that.
And then we
Yeah.
played cards. What's that?
Euchre.
Euchre. We
Yeah,
played euchre.
tiny euchre. Euchre's fun.
Yeah, and so we decided to become roommates before we truly knew each other.
Hey, food's here.
Your closest friends can come from anywhere, and when you first meet them, you might not even know how much your friendship will grow.
I think it's just kind of like you hang out with somebody for a certain amount of time and you don't think about it being superficial, or at least I don't think about it being superficial, but then eventually you realize that you start to tell the person things that you'd really only tell people you trust well. And so that's
Yeah.
just kind of the point where you're like, oh, look, I made a friend.
Yeah, for sure. So we've both been crazy busy lately,
Yeah.
and so anytime we actually have to see each other,
It's usually in our room.
yeah, and it's usually like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's okay.
We also we went caving together,
We did, yes.
yeah, back in the fall, which was really, really fun.
Yeah. Had you been before?
No.
Okay, yeah. Neither of us had been, and so it was pretty exciting just to go in general, but we were also
Yeah.
too scared to go alone, so we joined the caving club together,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was a really fun time.
You can have this for an hour.
You can make a big school small, but you can't make a small school big, which is one of the things I like about IU, is we have so many opportunities that you can try any interest that you could possibly ever have. There's a club for that, or there's a class for that, and so you can try anything and you'll meet people there who are interested in the same things as you and who have the same values as you. And so you can just make a community out of any interest or really anything that you want, which I really like about IU.
We could hang out over break sometime. Yeah.
I love you.
Here's cacti and orchids.
Ooh, I like cacti and orchids. I don't think I could care for orchids. I had a dream maybe last night that I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't fed my fish. But I haven't fed my fish since it died.